you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to ask the clerk to report citation number 122.
Clerk, please report.
Citation 122, Speaker Osborne. Citation of appreciation. The House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Kentucky hereby recognizes and honors Kentucky State Representative Jim DuPlessis.
Gentleman Jefferson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. When you're talking about the measure of a man, I like to start with that which is the most important thing about someone. And with Jim, it's about, with the gentleman from Hardin, 25, it's going to be hard not to call him by his name because we're such friends, is you start with his family. With him today are two members of his family. He has his beautiful wife, Marcy, who they've been dating for, I won't say how many years, but a long time. They met in college. Marcy's here today with their youngest daughter, Tori. Help me make them feel welcome. Jim's a lucky man and married up and a long time ago. They have three children. You've met Tori by her standing up there as the youngest daughter. They also have a son named Jay and a daughter named Kate. But the apple of his eye, if you look at any of the pictures that they post, is his granddaughter, 18-month-old Jade. And so you start with the most important thing. And this youngest of five, Father John and Mother Kitty, youngest of five, the thing you got to know most about Jim is his family. We know he's a young man and he's leaving this chamber, and that's mostly for spending time with his family. As we know, everybody in here sacrifices, and he is going to spend more time with his family. But if you want to know about the gentleman from Hardin, you have to know that he's an engineer. Not just by profession, but by birth. Everyone in here, when we've talked to the gentleman from Hardin, we know he's wanting to dive into spreadsheets and wanting to figure out what's going on. He sees a problem. He wants to fix the problem. And so when he was an adult, a professional, he was thinking, government isn't working the way I want it to work. I've got some ideas. I've got some things I'd like to change. He ran for office. He saw a problem. He wanted to help fix it in the engineering way. So he ran for office. The things that he was most interested in were tax reform, and he's been at the forefront in the rooms with the gentleman from McCracken and the gentleman from Todd, putting together tax reform plans to move Kentucky forward. Pro-life issues were something that was very important to him. We hadn't moved pro-life issues in decades when he ran for office, and now, 8 years later, we're one of the leading states in protecting the life of the unborn. That's something that the gentleman from Hardin is very proud of. He also saw financial literacy as a problem. We have talked about it for a long time, that our kids graduate from high school, and they know a lot of things, but they don't know how to balance a checkbook. They don't know what taxes mean. They don't know how to live life and to have financial literacy. So this engineer saw a problem and went about fixing it. He worked with the treasurer, Allison Ball, and others, and he came up with a financial literacy program that we passed just a few years ago. Saw a problem and wanted to fix it. The biggest problem we've had over the last couple decades is our pension problem. We hadn't funded them for a while. They'd gotten a little bit out of control here and there. And if you know what the gentleman from Hardin has done from the last number of years, he's talking about pensions. Talks about a lot of things, but pensions are the number one thing. And so he dove into pensions and wrapped his arms around those, and he did that across the aisle. He did that with people from the Republican Party and people from the Democrat Party. And he tried to fix pensions. Again, this engineer saw a problem, and he wanted to fix it. But he's not just a man of the mind, although he is that. He also, and may embarrass him, he also has a great big heart. We know a few times he walks into session bald. And he did that because he believed so deeply in solving the problem of childhood cancer, St. Baldrick's. And so he was among the number one people to push the fact that Kentucky was the first state in the nation that funded research for childhood cancer. That's the man, the engineer, with the big heart. As a new legislator, I would call the gentleman from Hardin, and I knew that I would get advice with a steady hand and someone who was calm. I'm not always calm. The gentleman from Hardin is. And so he would give me very good advice. And you know, as this is Kentucky, and in the spring, I'm famous for saying we look forward to the blooming of daffodils. I'm going to look forward, even though he's not going to be in the General Assembly, of phone calls because he's not going to be able to go away. I'm going to look forward to the phone calls and text messages from the gentleman from Hardin with this idea that he has to fix a problem. So we will hear from him again. And I just want to say thank you, gentleman from Hardin. I know you came here with your mind, you came here with your profession, you came here wanting to make a difference about numbers and about data, and you've done that. But you've also lent to Kentucky your great big heart. And I want to thank you for that. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to ask for adoption of House Citation 122.
Without objection, so ordered.